Hey guys, Psycrafter here, and today I am back with the Anime versus Reality podcast. We're in episode 167, and we're going to be going through the first movie of Eden of the East. Wait, where did I put my phone? I always put my phone down somewhere other than here. Damn it. Do that every time. Because I take a bit of enjoyment in calling out characters' birthdays from anime. And today is no exception to that. Because of when this episode will be coming out, Shiro from No Game No Life will be having his birthday on the 27th. So, before I get into these movies, there's two movies for Eden of the East. It's been a while since I watched them. I wasn't a fan of them, but having watched it again, because I felt like there was too much of a recap. But really, the first movie has a lot of recap, sort of jammed in at the start, almost. I think was. But outside that, it doesn't really do flat previously on sort of thing. So with that out of the way, let's get into movie number one. I wrote the notes all together as one chunk, but I know where the first movie ends. Our story picks back up with a taxi going into New York City, with Saki seeing posters depicting Akira as an air king. And again, I'm still putting Akira in the quotation marks because it's not his real name, and Air King's also in quotation marks because I'm quoting a poster. She listens to her only clue of Akira's location before he erases memories the second time. Saki speaks her best English to the taxi driver, only to be dropped off at Grand Central Station after she asked about it. It's like, no, I didn't want to be dropped off at Grand Central Station. He's suddenly upset with her because her bag is heavy. It's like the heaviest bag he's ever pulled out, and it had multiple weapons in it. And her handbag is still in the cabinet. It's like, oh man, we really just started off unlucky for Saki. And somehow, she does manage to get away from the police with a handgun in her pocket, thanks to a car crash nearby. It's like, okay, that's convenient. And then we get into the opening credits, which showed the police crowd surfing Akira to safety as the NEETs and the Eden of the East group are held back by riot shields. Like, they're literally protecting Akira from the NEETs and the Eden of the East group. And back after the missile incident, Saki was questioned for 3 days by the police about what happened. Somehow, the phone went undiscovered during the investigation, which is, highly suspicious. Which Saki finds with a message from Akira thanks to Juiz. Saki's own investigation of Akira's phone reveals that his arrest was scrubbed from all records, and that he disappeared again to the cinema where he first saw Dumbo. Also, I peeked this little bit of info. Apparently, the missile interception at the end of the anime cost 5 billion yen. But it only costs 30 million yen to access the Eden app. Which is actually ridiculous. It's like, yes, 30 yen to access an app. 5 billion to intercept all the missiles. Which does make sense. With Akira being part of the terror investigation, Along with his disappearance, the Eden app became a worldwide sensation overnight for having footage of him. It's like, so in a way, his choice of disappearing made the company famous, which is causing a massive wave of events. At the same time, Akira's missile interception turned him into a symbol of revolution as the Air King. This turning point for Japan still led to the domestic situation becoming unstable and a nosedive in Japan's stocks. All of Japan's administration resigned after failing to stop another careless Monday. Probably because of Japan's PM Ida's outburst, nicknamed the Uncle Dissolution. After everything shakes out, even with the uncertainty of Japan, it was refreshing for the youth in an odd way. It's like, how could that be refreshing? While everyone gets a laugh at Asahi for leaving the Eden group and getting his own job, Asahi leaves to look at Akira's phone. It's like, dude, why are you laughing at someone for leaving a job and getting a job? Like, you should be happy that he's got something to do. On May 5th, Saki left Japan for America, returning to the White House, revisiting what happened when she first met Akira and his package. Not long after returning from Washington, Saki has added another trip back over to America. Like, lady, if you're gonna look, just stay over there. Kazuomi is also curious as to Akira's location, and Itasu rigged something up to automatically update the Eden server with Akira's phone logs, wanting to use Eden to save him. Mikuru suddenly rushes in to show everyone that the new Prime Minister, Inuma, has collapsed, which is rather convenient since Akira's passport was recently changed to Inuma. In that moment of looking at Akira's logs, a new request comes in to leak the successor. Another request leaks that Akira Inuma is currently staying in New York, a place she never visited with him. Saki realizes why Akira is in New York, because he was referring to Saki's trip with her friends, not the day they met. So presently, Saki reaches the Sheraton Hotel and calls Kazuomi, only to learn that Prime Minister Inuma has passed, and that in response to Akira's phone log, Number 6 and Kuroha have headed to New York. Number 6 also had made a request to rig Saki's luggage with the guns, bullets, and grenades based on the movie Taxi Driver, which is another reference, because in the first episode we had a reference to Taxi Driver as well. And Number 2 sent copies of Akira's passports to all networks, so now people are out there looking for Akira. Mikuru thinks Number 6 will try to make contact with her, since they've tried to find Akira's location multiple times and failed. In Number 6's logs, it shows they've made a movie in an attempt to save Japan. Okay, well, I am struggling to understand how some of these actions work in a way to save Japan, because, yes, we're gonna make a movie. How is that helping in any way? My brain just got distracted by my laptop. Inuma's supporters are also flying to New York to search for Akira, and Kazuomi tells Saki to retreat to the consulate general in New York right away. But Saki won't give up when Akira doesn't remember anything about the missiles. However, without her passport, Saki can't book a hotel room. When was that a thing in America? I guess foreign people need their passport in America to be able to book a room, which doesn't make any sense at all. Saki has an idea on where to find Akira ahead of the other Salakal, and with 3 hours on the clock, she races out of the Sheraton with number 6 secretly recording her. Osugi suddenly charges into the Eden office, worried about Saki being missing since Mikuru let him know what was going on. It's like she's fine. She's in New York. They know where she is. And Daiju, who is player number 1, meets up with Jintaro, who's player number 2. Oh wait, I jumped the gun on that. Who has developed an interest with number 9's actions with the niece, saying he's a great producer. Neither Daiju nor Jintaro understand what is going on with number 9, and Jintaro figures he better start playing, unless he'll be killed by the supporter, who Daiju suggests is number 12. Apparently, Jintaro has found a way to win the game, which Daiju thinks is leaking the news of the Prime Minister's kid to the media. Saki races to the docks near Brooklyn Bridge in hopes of finding Akira, about to dump the gun in her pocket in the water, when Akira catches her just off guard. He's just like, what are you doing with a gun? And taking the gun from Saki, Akira just straight up yeets the gun into the water, and the two run away into an alley before he leaves her. Since Akira doesn't remember his last name, Saki tricks him into searching for his phone with her. Okay, that's a neat way of tricking someone. The main Eden group are still worried about Saki not making it to the Consulate General, and adding to the stress for Haro. The administration team leaves early for the Obon Festival. I didn't know anything about the festival. I didn't see that as important enough. Haro complains about how lazy they're being, but realizes that Kazuomi suffers the most if they send him back to college. Itazu shows up at the office asking about the ridiculous amount of donuts they have, and tosses Mikuru a hard drive ready to stop everyone thinking that Akira is the Prime Minister Inuma's son. It's like, yeah. So one detail I glossed over was just the ridiculous amount of donuts. It's like, you got like, I think there was at least 3 stacks of donuts I saw, and they weren't like the small like you do like a forward and one on top thing. They were like, whoa, like proper mountains of donuts. Anyway, back over in New York, Saki and Akira try tracking down the taxi that has Saki's bag in it, and talk about her relationship with Akira Takizawa and how he disappeared 6 months ago. Akira finds out which taxi driver brought Saki to New York and pretends to be a cop from Japan to find Saki's bag, and that she's his prisoner, lying that she's a terrorist. Having gotten her bag back, Saki comes clean that Akira is the person she had found, showing him the picture they took together. Saki emails Mikuru that she found Akira, and with his help got her passport and cell phone back as well, with freaking out Kazuomi and Osugi by also adding she'll be at Akira's apartment. It's like, oh no. Don't be with the guy that you can't trust. Kuroha calls Juiz from her apartment and asking if Juiz managed to save Saki this morning from the police, revealing she was behind the car crash earlier in the day. Ever since the incident at the hotel, Kuroha hasn't cut off a single Johnny since she has something else to focus on currently. With Saki safe, Itasu goes over everything they know about the Salico that pose a threat to Akira, from Daiju being the one to hit Itazu with the car, to number 6, the film producer sneaking around New York. Ro has been dropped from the danger list into the dropout list, seemingly potentially dead due to his number going dark. However, the biggest shock is that Hajime is actually still alive, despite not having any money left, instead having lost his memories of the game. And, everyone is absolutely confused by this, because, didn't he die? Wondering if elimination just means a loss of memories, not of life. It's yeah, that would make sense if we got a character that should be dead being alive. Itazu offers the idea that number 12 is Mr. Outside and the supporter, which allows him to directly keep tabs on everyone and decide their punishments. Osugi says Ato could be outside the rules, but it doesn't explain the record of transporting Juiz, making Itazu think the supporter rule is fake to trick the Sadako into playing. Meanwhile, Saki explains everything about the Sadako game to Akira, leaving him to reference the 1979 film The Man Who Stole the Sun. Which, that is quite the reference. It was old movie reference. Because that's 46 years ago now. Wow. Akira does believe her, and thanks to the overwhelming interactions with random people calling him Air King, it's yeah, it's hard not to miss the obvious with that. And number 6 wants Juiz to make number 9 and Saki shower together, because that's what happens in great films. He gets upset with the fact that Juiz made a bank account for him, which is breaking the rules, but the bank account is part of the request to make number 9 king, and is therefore not breaking the rules. In the apartment, Saki asks what has happened since Akira noticed his memory loss. Akira was suddenly released by the police, giving him cards, his Inuma passport, and a bunch of keys. And this was followed by a phone call to the theater, a phone call to go to the theater where he first saw Dumbo, and has been waiting for his mum ever since. Saki gets a message from Kazuomi to hide out in America until the dust settles down with the whole Akira Numa drama. Saki calls Juiz. Oh no, Akira calls Juiz to cancel the king request, but everything that has already been done can't be undone, so he decides to think it over. And when suddenly the regulator in their apartment goes off, creating a situation for the two of them to shower together as per number 6's request, which confuses Kuroha. What are you doing? It's over cup ramen dinners, the eating group talk about how it's going to be harder in Japan to be a NEET over a parent's allowance, and thanks to the new 100% death tax law change that's about to pass. I cannot believe that's a sentence I had to say. The new 100% death tax law change. So basically, the younger generation don't get an inheritance. That's a nice sign. Young people aren't taking the situation seriously, and the older generation are spending all their money as fast as possible. Mikuru adds that supporters of the new law say it will create more consumption and speed up the recovery of Japan's economy. Oh. Okay, that's just weird. The Eden group sees number 6's request, and at the same time, Kuroha calls number 9, telling him to check his phone, and allowing him to get Saki and himself to safety. Number 6 loves the subdued explosion, referencing Spielberg's 2005 film Munich, but is annoyed at their survival and calls Juiz, only to get roasted with the knowledge that no great film has ended in the characters being blown up in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I bet you could find at least one character that dies in a bathroom from an explosion. There's a main character. I bet you could. It might not be a great film, but I'm pretty sure you could find at least one. Saki and Akira go to his workplace, the theater where he first saw Dumbo, to hide out, with Kuroha still watching over them. In the theater, Akira puts Saki in a showing room and to keep watch from the lobby, but when Saki thinks he's going to disappear again, he instead sits with her. It's like a nice touching moment. Akira asks why she thought he would be in Brooklyn today, and seems to be struggling to remember one particular movie, but finally realized the scene he was remembering was actually the picture on his phone. Following the attack on Saki and Akira, the Eden Group's hackers delve into business and school records to try to figure out who Akira really is. However, Juiz has been extremely thorough, with records changed going back as far as Akira's graduation photo. Even the names are erased from number 9's details logs right in front of Mikuru's eyes. It's like full on, just like, damn. Like right there, right in front of her. Itasu was prepared for that eventuality, having set up the logs to save directly to his personal computer, but even those get erased. So they set about checking the earlier logs, and they see Akira's request to hack the Eden system, which, in junction of Itasu beefing up the system, allowed Juiz to speedily delete the names. This leads... Actually, wait, was it Akira's? No, I think that was Zaju's, actually. This leads to the discovery that Juiz is listening through their phones, silently communicating to everyone to remove their phone batteries. When all the batteries are removed, Itasu explains that someone was hacking in thanks to something called a roving bug that allows the hacker to remotely control phones. The logs reveal that Daiju was most likely behind the hacked phones from a request to secretly investigate the Eden the East company. Saki wakes to find Akira has left her alone to sleep, finding him returning with coffee for the both of them. Without the money available for them to get around New York, Akira offers the idea for them to go walk around New York City. The funny thing is, I was actually able to track down the block that they're currently staying in. It's like Madison in Brooklyn. And getting the feeling he used to live in the very neighborhood they're in, he wants to try and find the room he lived in as a kid before his past disappears. Recalling Akira mentioning that the merry-go-round at the mall had no gold ring, Saki takes out her notebook of research and searches through it for the merry-go-round she found. Jintaro calls a lot of this story does jump back and forth in location. So it's back with Jintaro, who calls Juiz to tell her about his plans about framing Number 9 as the missile terrorist, and going further to make all of Japan victims to give them an excuse to complain to other countries. He sees victims as having all the power, comparing everyone in Japan being a victim to spilling coffee on himself and suing. If the world sees Akira Onuma returning to Japan in an Air King t-shirt, they'll be worried about Japan turning militaristic. Then, if Akira got shot by foreigners, say, it will show Japan truly is weak to make them the victims. But Juiz has one question. How will they make Akira wear the shirt? Which is a valid question. Thanks to Saki's research back over in before finding Akira, she figured out that the gold ring is a reference to the 1951 novel The Catcher in the Rye, and that Japanese merry-go-rounds don't have gold rings, and most of the ones in the US don't have them either. But she did find one that did. Running the merry-go-round, Akira pieces together that he had to have gone to this carnival as a kid for them to have specific knowledge of the gold, for him to have specific knowledge of the gold ring. Saki fails to grab the gold ring, but Akira manages to swipe it without Saki even knowing he did. It's like the expert thief he is. Watching Saki from a nearby bench, he recalls everything about his childhood, like how he never forgot them, from snagging the ring as a kid to watching Dumbo with his mum. Number 6 uses the detailed logs of Kurohara's purchases to track down Saki and Akira, sneaking around to film them some more, and finding a flamethrower for pyrotechnics to kill them with. Like a genuine flamethrower. Why would a carnival have that? It's America. Not meaning to roast you Americans, but really that is what it is. At the same time of convenience, both Number 6 and the Japanese PM's search team converge on Saki and Akira's location, along with Kurohara also arriving in the car to save them. It's like, just everyone shows up. Number 6 ends up arrested for the attempted murder of Saki and Akira by the search team, and turns out Kurohara was sent to retrieve Akira by the Prime Minister's wife in hopes to ask his intentions face to face. It's like, so that's why she was there in New York. Also, Kurohara wants to see what type of king Akira would make for Japan. Itazu's World Computer version 2 says that the remaining time until Akira Onuma replaces Akira Takizawa is 8 hours and 20 minutes. Kazuomi suggests shutting down the Eden system to buy themselves more time to figure out how to stop Akira's king request, with the world computer saying that would be 48 hours, so 2 days. Better than 8 hours and 20 minutes. However, points out that the Eden system is now a central basic infrastructure, but Kazuomi still goes through with the shutdown. The only computer left being Mikuru's laptop on wireless LAN. With the Eden system now shut down, Haro provides the idea to move completely as well back to the college room where the old Eden system is too. But this action might not be necessary when Mikuru receives an email from Saki saying Akira is returning to Japan right now. Kurohara says Saki can't join them on the plane when a request for a missile launch from Daiju comes in, and its target is a truck with a Jewish supercomputer on it from Calico 12. Daiju puts in the request for more missiles and more trucks, and taking out Jewish supercomputer number 2, who was Jintaro. I jumped the gun on that earlier. Suddenly, Jintaro gets his own shock that Ro is still alive. When he shows up on his yacht and reveals he eliminated himself by breaking his phone. Okay, that's one way to get out of the situation. And Kuroha moves her own truck in place of Akira's in order to sacrifice her place in the game for Akira's chance to win. She asks Akira if he can keep his promise and pray he shall be a king who lends a helping hand. Saki joins Akira on the plane back to Japan, and as Kuroha walks away, ready to continue her life outside the game. Daiju has twisted the true narrative with the man he's talking to on the phone the previous PM, and made him believe Daiju was the one to stop the 60 missiles. Even though there's video proof of, number 9 doing that. Huh? What? How do you convince him of that? It's like, the AI editing software is amazing, isn't it? He's ready to free Japan from the culture of independence the country has been in since the end of World War II. On the plane back from New York, yeah, okay, so I've already reached the end of movie 1, I think. But I'll mention this as a start for movie 2, because not much really happens on the flight. On the plane back from New York, Akira has a dream where his phone turns into an interpretation of a Johnny, jumps on his face and crawls inside his ear. Saki is terrified by Akira's sudden outburst, and the hostess comes over with an Air King shirt, making sure he's alright. And I'm gonna leave that there. That'll be it for movie 1 and sort of the start for movie 2. I'll do that point again at the start of the second one. But as of now, for YouTube, I hope you guys did enjoy this stream. Streams do end up being pretty short when I'm by myself doing all this. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's stream. Links will be in the description to both the channels and the Twitch for you guys to go check out. Don't forget to subscribe to the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. Ding. Ding. I'm Sidecrafter out.